Now, this is probably a confusing graph, and I'll try to explain what I mean with this graph. So, in social movements or in social innovation, we talk a lot about growth. Everybody is concerned with growth, okay? And we are also concerned with growth in a networked approach because growth means that you are involving more people, and that you are involving also people from different areas, different regions, different locations, geographical locations, right? And um, try to imagine that this circle, this oval here, represents the country of South Sudan, right? Or represents a region in South Sudan, okay? You may have, you know, groups or clusters of people in this region here, right, that are working on a specific topic. Let's say, for example, they're working with soccer, with football for peace, okay? And you may have in the other side of the region some people here working with women or with the topic of ending violence against women. Um, and apparently they are separated by physical locations, and even there is no direct connection between this group here and this group here, okay? But what a network approach allows us to do is to create connections between this group on the left and this group on the right through intermediaries. So through people which are called brokers, right? And they connect different sets or different locations of the network together. It's like creating a bridge, okay, between these two points. These are people that, for example, in this case, they could be, either traveling around, um, or because of their job, because of their responsibility, they are naturally in touch with these groups. Okay, so for example, someone working on a government agency or someone working for a police force, for example, may have contacts with these individuals, given his or her job or his or her role. Okay, and when we are aware that this network exists, and when we start creating these intentional relationships with these people, we are also creating a path for these groups not only to communicate but also to coordinate action, right? So it's interesting to think when you are networking, or when you are meeting new people, or trying to convince or trying to bring new people into your network initiative. Think about what role will this person play, right? Is she or he a person who is very, very involved in his local work, right? And he knows, she knows his cluster and his work very, very well. No one knows this cluster like she does. Or is it someone who is opening up doors for other fields or other areas um, in your region or in other sectors? Now, how do we structure a network, right? And this is a very important step, and I will speak a lot about structure in the next webinar. But here I wanted to just highlight two different ways of thinking about structure, organizational structure of the network. Okay, one on the blue one here is to think of a network like an organization, like an association, a foundation, uh, where you have a board, where you have clear roles, clear responsibilities, almost like a pyramid structure. Okay, this is a very good structure to organize work when you know exactly what you're doing, right? So if you are an advocacy group, you have to organize a demonstration, and you know very well how to organize a demonstration, or how to organize the writing of new legislation. So this kind of structure works very well when you know exactly what you want, and you know exactly what you're doing. On the other side of the spectrum is self-organized networks. These are very informal networks where people are invited in, but they're also free to self-organize their work, um, observing what their community needs, right? And proposing uh, themselves or their groups alone to go and solve this issue without asking for permission from anybody else, right? These are very, I think these self-organized networks are very, very, very powerful. Um, it is difficult to work with self-organized networks when you need to apply for funding, which is a very structured process, or when you are organizing a big event where some roles are already established. But it's great for systems development networks because you're always trying stuff out, right? You need to try stuff out. You need to learn from it, right? And need to quickly assemble a team and go at it and then come back, right? And for these kinds of work, for the kind of work of system development, self-organized networks work very well. And then, of course, there is always a middle ground, the hybrid networks, where you may have some umbrella organization that needs, some clearly defined roles, like a board, a CFO, project managers. But then there is a very large group of self-organized teams that respond to challenges as they arise, right? And I think, as with everything in life, uh, trying to find the middle is more difficult, but it's more powerful, where you allow yourself some rigid structure, but you're also nimble and flexible to respond to the environment as it demands from you.